Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to January 2025. I'm the Lady of the Throne Astrology, where God dwells within me as me. And I'm here to bring to you your prophecy for a new month, a new year, okay? I hope that you guys are ready for 2025. It does have a lot to do with God bringing an end to things. God is now ending things, ending cycles, closing doors, wrapping things up, preparing to put an end to a lot of necessary things, okay? And this is something that is required for the entire universe. It's mandatory for the entire universe to conspire to do this. And it is happening this way because it's just time for all the old to go. All the old, like if there's any people, places, or things that have been around for a long time that no longer serves the people or the planet or the universe, it's all going, okay? So this is a year where right now I think it's just really important for change, for God to bring in a change. And I think that change is going to happen. And as a matter of fact, Sagittarius, you may be one of the zodiac signs that's really affected by this. Mainly when it comes to what is happening around your social life, what is happening around your love life as well. Because you may feel in January, by the end of it, you may feel like someone has been playing some serious games with you. A game is being played on you, okay? You may feel like someone is trying to defeat you, or someone is playing some type of game where you have an opponent, or you have some type of pawns, like they're moving around you or passing you up. Or think of it like a Monopoly board. You got Monopoly, and let's just say you chose the car Monopoly pawn, and there's other people who chose, other things. I can't think of all the Monopoly pieces right now in my mind, but the car came to my mind first. What's the other Monopoly pieces? Wow, I cannot think. I know that one of the pieces looks like an iron, like a flat iron, right? I don't know if it is a flat iron or if it's something else. Flat iron. That's interesting that I said that. There's a part in New York called, I think it's called Flatiron, New York, if that's how it's pronounced. Sometimes there's words that you see and want to pronounce it one way, and the people from there pronounce it a different way. So I'm not sure if they call it something else, or they pronounce it in a different way. But I think there's a part like that, and I think there's also steaks or steak houses. I'm getting that too for some of you. Steak could have something to do with money, could have something to do with stakes, ownership, shares, or just like steak as in meat. I don't know. I'm picking up different messages as I'm speaking. This is just all flowing to me of course, from God, right? So, what else? So someone, Monopoly. So just imagine, okay, for some reason, I'm being drawn to talk to you about Monopoly. Wow. I don't know why, but okay, we have Monopoly, right? We have a board. What I remember from playing, because this was my favorite game, Monopoly was always my favorite board game in the world. I always wanted Monopoly all the time to play with my sibling. So anyway, you have a board, and there's different properties on the board. For me, I always wanted to own Park Place. I always wanted to own like that aristocrat, rich, expensive part of the board. I know a lot of people wanted that too, who like to play Monopoly, but that was always what I aimed for, some of the most expensive spaces on there. And so, okay, I'm seeing the properties on the board, and I'm seeing go, and I'm also seeing the chance cards. Oh, that's another thing. I like the chance cards, and you could get cards of chance, and then it'll tell you different things like go backwards 3 steps, or go forward, or pass go, or something like that. But it was always so hard to get the get out of jail free card. It was always so hard to get that. When that one was like just one or maybe a couple in the deck of cards, and it was just like, dang, I don't know, it's so hard to get that one. But you have that. I remember seeing like the cage, like with the man behind the bars in the orange suit, and then you go around that, and then I can't remember everything about Monopoly, and that was my favorite game, but I haven't played it in so long. Okay, I remember the bank, the money. I remember a bank, and someone had to be the banker. I would always be the banker because I was older than my siblings, so I would always be the one that take care of that. I didn't trust her with it. I only trusted me, and it's because I knew that I would manage it well, and I knew that I wouldn't spend all of it, and I knew that I wouldn't allow certain things to happen under my watch. So I had to do that. And maybe it was because it's a big sister thing. Maybe that's why. So, I remember like the little houses. So there were these green houses that were a little bit chunkier, a little bit bigger than the other little houses. Then there were these other little houses, and they were, I don't know if they were red or yellow. I can't remember if they were red or yellow houses, but you would line those up. Those are the little houses, but the bigger houses, you gotta pay a lot of money or something for that. And I remember the cards that match with the properties that were actually on the board. What else? There was also something else that I feel like I'm missing about Monopoly that was kind of fun to challenge ourselves with. I think you can buy another person's property if you wanted, if you had enough money or something like that. And sometimes you didn't have enough money to buy somebody else's property because they had more money than you. So you could end up with no properties, or you can end up with a lot if you know how to play the game. So what I'm picking up here is that someone is playing a game of Monopoly around you or with you, involved. And there is a bank or a lot of money involved or something like that. Or you're a part of something like a game, whether you know it or not. And maybe there is like real estate and land involved in this. I don't know. I'm getting so many messages, and it's not going to be for everybody, but you could be betting. You could be placing bets. Monopoly is about buying and selling property. So I don't know if it's betting for real or if it's just about buying and selling property. But somebody feels like a whole game like this is being played around them or behind their back, or people are doing this, or you're doing this and you're a part of something like this. But it kind of feels like now the game is being played on you, a Monopoly game. It could be that if you notice that someone is not taking you seriously or is being rude towards you in any kind of way, then this is coming from a karmic situation. So if someone's playing games with you, mind games, or a game of some type of Monopoly, or trying to monopolize a situation, then you could feel like this is very karmic, meaning that this is something that's coming into my life because it came from the past, maybe your past actions or your past life, or it could be coming from a karmic person who doesn't mean you well. But this person may feel like this is something that happened to them intentionally, like they feel like you did this to them intentionally, so now they could have the intent to do the same thing towards you. Time to challenge your strength, Sagittarius. It's going to be time for you to have your strengths challenged in a situation, in order for you to see if there is a way that you can outsmart the banker or not. But I don't know if that's possible, because I think the way what I remember about Monopoly, and I'm just going to leave you guys with this. What I remember about Monopoly is that you have to have money to get properties, and you have to have a lot of money against your opponents in order to claim something as yours. And sometimes you end up not being able to even claim that. Or sometimes You know, sometimes that can happen, or sometimes you end up getting all like a lot of money or a lot of properties, and you're able to sell properties until you get to that point. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember this game. This is so crazy because after I finish doing this, I'm going to definitely look up Monopoly, look at the game again and see how this is going. But it's interesting how now I think you're inside of some type of Monopoly game now. Especially if it has something to do with properties that you own, land that you own, or properties that you want to own, or someone else's possessions involved. I don't know. This is crazy. Or if this is just a metaphor, then this whole game could be a metaphor for a mind game that someone is doing to you, like a lover. They could be trying to move around you and do certain things. This could be a family member who, because I brought up sibling, it could be a younger sister, a younger brother who's trying to capitalize off of your work or something like that. Or man, it's like a whole little like situation now that you have to get yourself out of. And somebody here is trying to get the get out of jail free card or something like that, but it's like you guys are playing a game of chance ultimately. This is interesting. All right, I don't know how that resonates or how that's going to resonate for somebody out there by the end of January, but just pay attention to what's going on, because somebody's trying to, like, you know, dish out what they feel like you gave them or something. All right, and that's all I have. God bless.